Talk to me, talk to me. The silence keeps pushing us apart. I wanna know what you really see before it's too late and you're far away from me. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. The voice is like a song I long to hear. Talk to me, talk to me. All these days will pass on into years. So if in doubt, remember that you're free. And all I want is for you to talk to me. Talk to me. La la la, la 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 la. La la la. So if in doubt, remember that you're free. And all I want is for you to talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Come into our house of hope and love, of peace and justice, of wholeness and healing. Come in where we welcome the certain and the seeking, the lifers and the newcomers, the beloved and the brokenhearted. All of you can find a home here at Throop, where we go live the world from the heart of Pasadena and from the heart of our homes. This morning in our worship service, we continue to think about what it means to belong to ourselves, to the community, and to the world. And we'll also be welcoming new members into Throop today. This coming week, we have ways for you to stay connected. And if you took either a physical order of worship, or if you use the QR code and you are looking at it on your device, you can scroll toward the back or flip the page, and you'll see the announcements that have some upcoming activities and programs like hiking and book group and wandering over wine and all sorts of fun things like that. And you are very much invited into each of those things. We're so glad you're with us today. We also welcome our friends who are joining us on live stream. Hello, friends on our YouTube Live. And each one of us is a light in the world, and the flame from our chalice symbolizes and reflects that light.
This will go better now. Good morning. Our time together in worship is intimately connected with our daily lives. As a symbol of that connection, we light our chalice in a spirit of love, compassion, and justice. This morning, we gather the spirit of this community. We offer rest to those who are weary, comfort for those who are heartbroken, hope for those who feel despair. However you show up today, you belong here. Let us gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in hope. Let us celebrate our life together. We now light a second candle to honor the people and ancestors whose lands we now occupy. The land under and around Throop was once and still is the home of the Gabrielino Tongva Band of Mission Indian people. May this knowledge and awareness lead us into seeking justice and equity for all. We light a third candle symbolizing our watershed, the Arroyo Seco. May their waters continue to nourish life in our communities. We take a moment of silence, holding all of these in our hearts.
Gather the spirit, harvest the power. Our separate fires will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this hour. Our trials in this light appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks. Gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion, and strength. Gather to celebrate once again.
And as we gather in to celebrate, we take a moment to welcome each other into our sacred space. Do that gently and mindfully of masks and people's willingness to get close to you.
Gather the spirit growing in all, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun. Winter to spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion, and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather to celebrate once again.
So, past Sundays when we would welcome new members, it always felt very joyful. And somehow, as we do this today, when it's feeling like we're on the tail end of COVID. Does it not? Am I being too aspirational here? I'm almost afraid to hope, but let's do it. Yeah, we're getting closer and closer. And on this second Sunday of resuming in-person services again, like what year are we in? I keep saying that. It just feels especially like tender and precious that we're able to do that today, and that people rolled into the Throop community at a time in our lives where so many of us, I know at least I did, we're feeling just so physically separate from other folks, and it feels really good to be able to be physically together. And so I invite Jim, a member of our Board of Trustees, to come up and help me lead our welcome of blessing and belonging. And then I also welcome up our newest members of the church. I invite up Cynthia McDonald and Teresa Bailey and Rachel Majestic Baller and Fiona, baby Fiona, hooray. Sean Cook, and also Derek Jones. And you often see Derek roll in with his 4 children, and they're not here today, but I told them next time we do this, the kids can all come up and sign the book too. Of course. Of course. And so as we come together today and think about what it means to belong in the context of Throop and becoming an official member, it means different things to each one of us. And so for me, part of the joy comes from knowing that this group of people have found you all in a place where they really feel a sense of belonging to religious and spiritual community. And becoming a member is also symbolizing the promises that we make and have made to one another. Promises about being together in covenant, or promises that we will follow our Throop covenant of right relations, and our promise to be in intentional community and spiritual relationship with one another. And so some of the ways that intentionality shows up at Throop is our willingness to be curious with one another, our willingness to be vulnerable and open ourselves up to each other, and our passion for going out and for loving the world. And so we're just really glad that you have said yes to this people and to this place. And I'm about to ask you a series of 4 questions. And they're not going to be hard, hopefully, like on Jeopardy. And at the end, you're just invited to say, I will. And I have had conversations with all of them, so I feel like they're going to be able to really fully say, I will, authentically, and mean it. So will you tend to your own spiritual life, seeking truth and meaning? Will you help us move toward more just relationships with people and communities outside of our congregation? Will you help us live into our promise to our planet, nurturing the well-being of all life, and that includes ourselves? And will you love the world with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul? And if you will do that, please say, I will. I will. Yes, and I love how you were, Sean, I'm into it. I'm into your passion. All of you, thank you.
Each week we are reminded that this church is our church. It is our spiritual and religious home. The Throop that each of us comes to know and love, the Throop that we belong to, is never static. Our Throop is dynamic, constantly changing, and ever evolving. Just as the flowers in our learning garden bud, bloom, then fade during the course of a year, programs, ministries, activities come and go. Energies ebb and flow. Some parts of church life are transient. But the heart of the church is permanent. It is our understanding that the church is you, our people. We are held by this beautiful building, nurtured by our organic garden, inspired by music, led by our ministry team, cared for by one another. Yet at the heart of all of that is you. You are Throop. You are the ones who share our message of love with the world. That message of love is grounded in our relationship with one another. Congregation, it is time for you to voice your intent to be in covenant with these people standing before you. Will you welcome these new members with the warmth and comfort of your fellowship? Will you seek to add your strengths and talents to the new gifts they bring to us? Will you share our triumphs and our struggles as our community grows and changes? If so, please respond, "We will."
Yes. And as part of becoming a member at Throop, you're invited to sign our membership book. And I always get, maybe not teary exactly, but inspired, because we have names in it that go back to the 1930s. And if any of you after the service want to flip through the book and look at those signatures and think about the people who really decided to love the world from right here at Throop, please do so. And then Cynthia, we can start with you to sign, and then we can go down the line.
Thanks for a great party.
I ask the people in the pews to participate in a litany of blessings for our new members. As I share the words of welcome, at each line, our new members will pour dried herbs from our Throop learning garden into a common bowl, symbolizing their intent to receive and share in the blessings of our congregational life. Congregation, if you will respond to my words by saying together, "We offer our blessings to you." We welcome you and invite you to join our voice in harmony with others. We offer our blessings to you. We welcome you and invite you to share your spiritual journey with us. We offer our blessings to you. We welcome you and invite you to participate in making deep connections within our community. We offer our blessings to you. We welcome you and invite you to share your time, talent, and treasures with us. We offer our blessings to you. We welcome you and invite you to share in our mission and to participate fully in the life of this congregation. We offer our blessings to you.
And so as our final kind of gift to you all, well, not our final one, but the final one in this moment. We have so many gifts to share. Wait a second. A multitude. They're never ending. But in this moment, We have a chalice, a home chalice for you so that you can continue your spiritual and devotional life at home. And also let that candle be just a remembrance and a connection of the flame of the Throop community life. And so as they will take their home chalice, you all, let's fully welcome them into the Throop community. Yeah.
Here in reverence now we gather for the blessings we have known, with a pledge to one another that we journey not alone. Joy and sorrow make us wise, kin to all that lives and dies. Let us song. Love calls us on. Words and deeds of those before us waken here to keep us strong. Blend our voices in the chorus of creation's living song. Courage binds us, lift our eyes up unto the shining skies. Hope calls us on. Hope calls us on. Loyal guides in love and duty lead us with a trusted light. Blessed are they whose inward beauty shows the path of truth and right. Honor is their earthly prize. By their work we realize faith calls us on. Faith calls us on. We have shared a radiant hour when the truth has made us free, and the Spirit's gracious power dreams of good that yet shall be. Bright the path before us lies. Joyful pilgrims now we rise. Life calls us on. Life calls us on. Life calls us on. Life calls us on.
Life called us into this moment inspired by Megan and her incredible music. Thank you. Life has called us on into this church community, and it's all of our energies that make it the great community that it is. We support it in so many ways, through gifts of time, through gifts of talent and treasure. And for those of you today who have the ability to offer a financial contribution, we thank you for doing that. You can give in 3 ways. You can give online, you can text to give, or you can offer a donation in the offering basket, which is about to come down the aisle. And the ways to give online are in the order of worship, either the online one or the hard copy one if you were able to get one of those. Thank you so much for supporting our life together. The offering will now be gratefully received.
With heart and mind and voice and hand, may we this time and place transcend to make our purpose understood. A mortal search for mortal good, a firm commitment to the goal of justice, freedom, peace for all. A mind that's free to seek the truth, a mind that's free in age and youth, to choose our path no fret impedes, an ever light of conscience leads. Our martyrs died so we could be a church whose every mind is free. A heart that's kind, a heart whose search makes love the spirit of our church, where we can grow and each one's gift is sanctified and spirits lift, where every door is open wide for all who choose to step inside.
And as we give thanks for today's offering, I invite you to share the words in the order of worship. For the ministries of the church and our community, we bless our offering with love and hope. And as a part of our time of gratitude, we also each week share in the promise to our planet. And before we do that, I just invite you to take a breath in and to exhale. I always feel like this is a good time, if you haven't already done so, to really let your body fully land in the worship space. I know some rush in from mornings that were already strangely full of things and coffee and papers and social media and people. And so again, just take a gentle breath in and exhale, letting your mind and body all come into this space. And then as we share our intention, this promise to our planet, I invite you to think of one bit of our beautiful earth that you feel really connected to today. It could be a people or a place or a being. And just hold that in your heart and mind as we say these familiar words to some of us together. As members of the family of living beings on earth, we are guided by the Unitarian Universalist principle of respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. With hearts filled with love for it, eyes nurtured by its beauty, and minds ruminating on ways to protect its sacred and scarce resources, we promise to nurture the well-being of all life and of the planet itself. I invite you to take another gentle breath in, nurturing your own well-being, and breathe out. I invite you to gently close your eyes if that feels right to you. And breathe in a spirit of gratitude. Gratitude for this body that moves you through the world, that has gotten you here today. We'll actually do some gratitude for our body this morning. We feel gratitude for our minds that help us be curious, help us think. We hold gratitude for our hearts, pumping blood through us, but also symbolizing the love and care and compassion that we hold for others and ourselves. And we move to our bellies and hold gratitude for the passion that can be ignited in our bodies, passion for justice, passion for seeking equity in the world, and our passion for peace. And we move to our feet and hold gratitude for them. Now, sometimes our feet get sore because they are working to move us through the day. They also symbolize us being grounded to earth and grounded in community. And we'll spend a few moments in shared stillness. I invite you to think of one or two or three things that you feel especially grateful for this morning. And for all that is our life, we give our thanks and praise. Amen.
Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you lie, I will lie, beloved. Where you lie, I will lie. Where you lie, I will lie, beloved. Where you lie, I will lie. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, refugee. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, refugee. Where you go, I will go. And where you lie, I will lie, refugee. Where you lie, I will lie. Where you lie, I will lie, refugee. Where you lie, I will lie. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my will go. Children, where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go. Children, where you go, I will go. And where you lie, I will lie. Ancestors, where you lie, I will lie. Where you lie, I will lie. Ancestors, where you lie, I will lie. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. You're divine, my divine.
Where you go, I will go. Your people, my people. These words of deep affirmation, of belonging to someone, of belonging to community, they come from the Book of Ruth in the Hebrew Bible. So the story of the Book of Ruth actually begins with a woman named Naomi, and she and her husband are deeply rooted in the town of Bethlehem. Their people are there, they know the culture, the food, the smells, the sounds, and then a famine strikes and they realize they have to leave. And so with broken hearts, they pack up and they move to the place of Moab, and there they start to put down roots. They have 2 sons who grow up and marry women from there, and then Naomi's husband dies. Naomi probably imagined when her husband was living that she would spend all of her days in that strange land. Probably hoped that she would have grandchildren raised there that would sit on her lap and coo as they went to services. Maybe she always felt a little bit set apart, a little bit different. Maybe she was always aware that she was from somewhere else. But then tragically, both of Naomi's sons die. And full of grief and heartbroken again, she feels the pull toward home. And she decides it's time to return to Bethlehem, to be held once again by her people and her culture. And so she tells her daughters-in-law, I'm going back. And she says, I encourage you to return to your mother's homes. Return. And one daughter-in-law says yes and returns, but the other, Ruth, clings to her. And she says, no, I cannot leave you. She says, do not urge me to leave you, to turn back and not follow you. For wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, your God, my God. I think about those of you in this room, and I know that many of us came here because we left a people, we left a place that we knew so well, almost as well as the back of our hands. I know some of you have come here from Ohio, from other countries, from Florida, from Houston, from Arkansas. We have some New Yorkers in the room as well, Boston. And I know we have people in the room who left a people and a place because you were not embraced for the whole and holy you. And I look around the room and I know that there are some of you who had been longing to find community, longing to be seen as fully as possible, especially after these long 2 years of a pandemic that kept us so physically separate from so many that we loved. Life called you on into a new country. Life called you on into a new state, a new city, a new relationship, into new wooden pews. Whether you moved across country or moved into a new apartment or into this new church pew, you engage the process of sinking your roots into the soil around you, into your new life. And as a part of that process, I'm imagining you asked yourself the question, maybe more than once, who am I now? Who is this person that I see reflected in the mirror each morning? That question may have ushered you through the doors of our sanctuary today. Sabine Selassie, the author of You Belong, A Call for Connection, says that this is a central question in the exploration of belonging. She writes, without a deep understanding of who and really what we are, how can we build bridges back to our fundamental interconnectedness? How do we know ourselves? And Selassie says that very first of all, we have to belong to ourselves. And she says this helps us resist outside forces that fuel feelings of separateness and that want to diminish us for not fitting into the dominating culture's idealized version of a standard. And so to fully belong to ourselves, we start with this question, who am I? And so, who are you, friends? Who are you today in this moment, March 6th of 2022? For those of you who feel comfortable doing this, I invite you to gently turn towards someone near you and as fully and as authentically as you feel like you can, I invite you to answer that question, however the answer comes to you in this moment of who am I today? So as I came into the pews, I heard a few ponderings out there, and the who am I heard we have lovers of ice cream soda in the pews, so we may need to have an ice cream soda social at some point. We've got our organizers. Hey, and applause. You're okay. Let's get it on the calendar. We're ready. Someone lifted up to me how easy it is to share more of like a public kind of identity, the identity that others see, and then a little harder to drill down into the essence really of who we are. I heard someone is who they are right now is looking for community and kind of a place to belong. They feel like they have a lot of curiosity in this moment. And as I was thinking about this question of who am I also reflected on how much it changes and how much that maybe I'm the only one, but if I were to go back to like a year ago, Tara, and have that Tara's answer to who am I, it would sound, and it would feel really different from the answer that I would give you all today. And the person who was talking to me about drilling down into the essence kind of like looked at me, and I felt like he really expected a response from his pastor. Who is your essence today, Pastor Tara? And so I said, I am free and liberated today. Will I feel that way tomorrow? I think so, actually. Yeah, but a year ago, that would have been a really different answer. And it changes also depending on context, who we're with, and where we are. And I think that makes sense for us as Unitarian Universalists because we are a religious and spiritual people who engage in a collective and communal search for our individual truth and meaning. And we say that revelation isn't sealed, that it is always unfolding. We always have more to learn. And we mean that not just about scripture or universal understandings of mystery and wonder, but of course also about our own selves. And that's a complexity in Unitarian Universalism. That you are going to hear me say to you over and over and over again that however you show up here today, you are perfect exactly as you are. And you are also going to hear me say to you that we expect you to continually change and grow. And so we're going to talk on March 20th a little bit more about that dynamic of ever changing and yet being perfectly beautiful and whole exactly as you show up today. So I know in the last year, some of you have added joyful identities. Some of you became grandparents, became a parent. Yeah, some of you got a new job. Some of you found a partner. Some of you became a Throop member. And then some people in the room, maybe those same exact people, also added painful identities over the last year. Some of you became unemployed. Some of you became divorced or not partnered anymore. And some of you grieved the loss of a loved one. And most of us are continually integrating these joys and losses into our own self-understanding. And so when I think about that journey that Ruth and Naomi took, I think about them having a similar mixture inside of joy and loss, losing a place they had known so well, and then just the joy and excitement of starting anew, not knowing exactly what was going to be in front of them. But because they were together, having the safety and security, knowing that they had one another. Where you go, I will go. Your people, my people. We search for belonging to increase our own self-awareness. And we do it not just so we can be a better person or know ourselves better, but as Unitarian Universalists, we do it so we can show up more fully for the communities of care and compassion that we are connected with. When we say go out and love the world, that's part of that love we're talking about, to bring peace and equity and justice into communities that are sorely in need of it. And so as we think about belonging into this place and belonging into this people, I implore you to accept and know and celebrate, especially those of you who joined today, that the church you joined will change. It won't always be exactly the church as you've known it this morning. But that's what we want. And those of you who joined today, we expect and eagerly anticipate and want you to be foundational in the co-creating of this Throop community life. Because how sad it would be if we were all exactly the same a year from today. And so just as we are never finished, Throop is never finished. The world is never finished. And a lot of us would probably say that the God of our hearts is also never really finished. And so as you move out into your world, into your week, I invite you to spend some time with this question of who are you? And to dig a little deeper than just your external roles, and try to go into the heart and the essence of who you are and how that drives you to show up the way you do in the world. May it be so.
Where my free spirit onward leads, well, there shall be my way, my own light illumined. I've journeyed night and day. My age a time-worn cloak I wear, as once I wore my youth. I celebrate life's mystery, I celebrate death's truth. My family is not confined to mother, maid, or child, but it includes all creatures, be they tame or be they wild. My family upon this earth includes all living things, on land and in the ocean deep, or borne aloft on wings. The ever-spinning universe, well, there shall be my home. I sing and spin within it, as though this life I roam. Eternity is hard to get, and harder still is this. A human life, when truly seen, is briefer than a kiss. Where my free spirit onward leads, oh, there shall be my way.
I invite you to put a hand on your heart and just reach out a hand, a gesture towards someone else in the room or to our live stream friends joining us. We are connected by spirit, if not by hand, in this moment. Our chalice is extinguished. We carry its light with us. I'm so grateful that your free spirits led you into Throop. I love you all. Go out and love the world. Amen, and blessed be.
Love will guide us. Peace has tried.